Hello, everybody. Amethyst Moonflower here, and thank you all for joining me. It's Sunday, and it's the full moon in Leo, and so I usually would do like a live for my Facebook group for the full moon or the new moon or whatever. But since it's also Sunday, and I was planning on doing a video for YouTube, I thought I would just combine the two together so that I could just make one video, and then I'll share it to my YouTube and share it to my Facebook, and everybody gets something, and I only have to film once. So I hope that works out for everybody, because it's really working out for me. And but yes, so full moon in Leo. This is a really awesome fire sign. I feel really connected to this energy. This is one of the fire signs where it doesn't really affect me as powerfully as some of the other ones, like the Aries and the Sag. For some reason, their energies are so potent, because I don't have a lot of fire in my chart, and so fire is something that I'm kind of lacking in my chart. Mostly water, earth, and a little bit of air. So yeah, it's just something that I have to work on. I have to really bring it into myself more. But yeah, so I'm feeling really good today. Actually, yesterday and today, I've been working on some things that have really kind of brought me to the subject that I wanted to talk to you guys about for this video. And I wanted to talk to you guys about the manifestation mindset and blocks that can get in the way of having a healthy mindset for manifesting what you want in your life. And because it's a Leo full moon, there's a lot of energies around, being a leader and having courage and following your heart and following your passion, speaking your truth, expressing yourself. These are all main energies that kind of circle around that Leo energy. And when you want to manifest the life that you want, you're going to want to have those qualities. You're going to want to have to be a leader in your own life. You can't just stand on the sides of of the life that you want and just kind of hope that it's going to happen. You have to make it happen. And that's kind of the experience that I've been going through in my life as well, is that for many years, my entire life, I've kind of had this vision of me being an entrepreneur and just doing the life that I always wanted to do. And my vision for what I wanted to do has always changed. It has never really kind of been the same vision. Every year I kind of evolved that vision, but I always knew that I wanted to be my own boss. Ever since I was very young, I always knew that I wanted to be my own boss. And I fell into the trap like so many people do. The majority of people fall into the trap of working for someone else. And it's not always a trap. A lot of times, you might have a certain career and you follow that career and you're really happy and you'll have a boss, or maybe you'll be a boss in that career field. And if that's happy for you and that's what you want, that's great. You got to take leadership in that as well. If you want to be a boss, you have to be a leader. And in being an entrepreneur, you don't have somebody telling you what your job is. Like, you don't go to work and you don't have a deadline. Like, today you have your quota and you have to meet your quota. You don't have nobody setting your goals for you. You don't have no one setting your standards for you. It's all you that you have to create that for yourself. You have to create your own schedule. You have to create your own system. You have to create your own programs. You have to create everything that you do. Is you have to do it yourself. So there's a lot of accountability, self-accountability, that goes into being an entrepreneur. And I myself did not grow up in like a household that had that as an example of being self-accountable in a way that I could learn to be an entrepreneur. I had to teach myself everything that I know about what it means to be an entrepreneur, and becoming an entrepreneur and taking on that role so that I can live the life that I want and follow my dreams and things like that. I really struggled with, every time I thought I was going to schedule myself or set a system for myself or whatever it was, I would fall short. I would get lazy and I would just be like, I don't feel like doing that today. I procrastinate and be like, oh, I don't feel like doing that today. And those are blocks that come up, and for me. But it's like that for a lot of people, for everybody who, wants to follow their dreams, whatever your dreams are. When you want to start manifesting things, your shadows are going to come up. They're going to be there waiting for you. And the only way to get around those shadows is to face them. All right? That's what I had to do. That's what everybody else who ever followed their dreams had to do. They had to face their shadows. And those shadows can be sometimes very, very deep-rooted and subconscious, and some of them aren't as deep-rooted. Some of them are right there in your face, and you're aware of them. You know they're there. You just don't want to acknowledge them. You don't want to face them. You don't want to deal with that, okay? Like, for me personally, procrastination, putting things off to the very last second until it's almost too late, that has always been an issue with me personally. Or smoking cigarettes. Like, it's very hard for me. Sometimes I feel an issue with smoking cigarettes, not just because of my health and because of the money, but because I do want to be a very clean person, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And every time I go to take my step into being a very clean, healthy, balanced person, cigarettes is always kind of one of those things that is blocking me from being the person that I want to be. And I'm sharing this with you because I want to show you that if you feel these things, you are not alone. But there are ways of, you got to find a way to get around these things. And the first thing to do is to face the ones that are right in your face. Because those are going to be the ones that are the most obvious and they're the easiest ones well, not always the easiest ones to deal with, but it's easier to deal with something that's right there than it is to dig deep. But you'd be surprised at some of the things that will come up that you didn't know was there, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I thought that I was ready. And another example that I can give to share with you about this lesson is I have been really working hard at manifesting my dream home or my forever home. Okay? It is very, very important to me as a person to have the home that I want. Not just because I'm a materialistic person. There are many, many reasons why I want the home that I want. And I know and I believe that I deserve this, and I'm very, very close to achieving this goal. It's a very important, one of the biggest goals I could achieve in my life at this moment that I'm aware of, and it's so close. I can taste it, and I've worked my butt off to get my credit straight and to save money, and me and my husband been paying off our debts, and we went to the mortgage company and they were like, everything looks great, you just have a couple little things left that you have to do and then we can start this process. And we've already talked to realtors, we know what we want, we know what we're looking for, we know it, and what I've always wanted and what I've always dreamed of having is right there, and I just got a couple little things left to do, and I'm so excited and I'm so happy, and I've been manifesting this for so long, and it's literally exactly how I imagined it, how I dreamed it, right there, and it's waiting for me, and all I have to do is go and grab it. And then what happens? The very next day, I go to work and I'm doing my job, and all of a sudden I have a massive panic attack. I all of a sudden can't breathe. I started crying. I started doubting myself. I started like panicking about every little thing, and I'm having a nervous breakdown in my spot at work. Nobody realizes this is going on, but I'm standing there and I'm literally frozen in fear. And I didn't know what to do. I'm like, oh my God, 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 freaking out. And I'm just and I had to calm myself down and I had to focus my energy and get back to work. But it made me realize that, I had no choice but to let that fear go. I told my higher God, the source, how I believe in God. I stood right there and I was like, God, I know that you are giving me exactly what I wanted and what I know I deserve, and can you just take this away from me and let it, I release it, I let it go. All right? And I felt it go. I felt it go away. And it was so crazy because it was like a sense of not feeling like I deserved what and being afraid. And that's part of manifesting. That's part of things when something is new and something is different and you finally level up and decide that you're going to take leadership in your life and live the life that you want. It can be scary because it's different, because you don't know what to expect, and you're running things through your mind thinking that something's going to go wrong or something's not going to go right, and it's not going to work out in your favor. That's that old story going over and over and over through your mind. And only reason why I was able to get through it is because I have been on this journey for a long time, and I finally come to the point to where I can see that when it's happening to me, and I know, and I've learned tools and methods to help me get through that so that I can move past it and not live in it. But I also realize that that's because I've been working on myself for a really long time, and I was able to move past that. There would have been a point even just a year or so ago where if something like that would have happened to me, I would have just broke down and gave up, and I would not have kept going. I would have just been like, it's not going to work, I give up, I'm not going to go, I'm not going to make that phone call, I'm not going to do this, and I'm not going to do that, and I'm just going to self-sabotage myself, and then I'm going to end up in the same spot that I always was, and nothing's ever going to get accomplished. And that's part of why I became a spiritual life coach in the beginning, of why I realized that this was a part of my purpose and this was a part of my path, was that it's my journey to learn how to go through these things so that I can help others go through these same things as well. We don't all have the same shadows, but it feels the same way. When you're depressed and you're overweight and you're got anxiety and you aren't making a lot of money and you don't know what your purpose is and you're in all these things, it can make you feel like you're worthless. It can make you feel like there's no reason for you to keep going. It makes you feel like you don't have any answers, you don't have a path, and that's why I feel called to help others, to not just lead them, but to help them lead themselves. And that's why this full moon in Leo is so valuable, because this is a time for you to look into yourself and find that leadership quality, not for others, but for yourself, to keep pushing forward and to keep going for what you want. And what you want is always sitting on the other side of something that you're really, really afraid of doing. Is always on that really far wall where you're like, I'll never get to that wall and I'll never get over that wall. But you can, because it's all in your head. And it's and there's blockages that are preventing you from thinking that you can't get over them. But sometimes the answer is really right there in front of you, but you're blinded by your fear. And so just take this time underneath this Leo full moon to heal that heart space and to heal that solar plexus space, to bring you bravery and confidence so that you can push through, so that you can keep going forward. Fill your life with that fiery, passionate energy. Find the passion. If you know what you're passionate about, then look into that and look for an answer in that. If you don't know what you're passionate about, if you don't know what your path is, that's okay. It's life is a journey, and sometimes answers don't come to you until you start stepping. You could take 2 steps forward and you'll get a download and you'll be like, aha, now I got an idea. Or you do something and you kind of enjoyed it and you realize, I could do this again. There's so many ways to finding your passion and your purpose. And when you finally do find your passion and purpose, it gives you a drive and it gives you something to go for. But if it's not truly meant to be, you're going to give up. You're going to let it go, and you're going to be like, well, that was fun, but it didn't work out. But if you really wanted it, you would find a way to make it work. And it's about finding that fire and finding that passion to drive you, to keep you going forward and to moving towards what you're meant to do, why you're here. Everybody, I truly, truly believe that there is a purpose for every soul on this planet that is here. As long as you still have breath to breathe and you can feel the sunlight on your face and you all that stuff, you have a purpose. And if you can't find that purpose, there are people, me or your friends or your family or a therapist or somebody, we can all come together and wrap our arms around you and comfort you when you're down, but you can't live there. You have to pick yourself up and keep going. And that's so important, to just find something to keep going for. Even if it's your children, just keep finding something to shoot for. But doing it for your children is really, really important. But what about doing it for yourself? How about doing it for you? Okay? Doing it for someone else is great, but doing it for you inside, to feed your soul, to make you happy, and to give you love and life. That's what life is all about. And so thank you all for coming and watching my video today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you would like, follow me on Instagram, Amethyst Moonflower, or Facebook if you don't already. And I will be seeing you guys all next week. And thank you, and brightest blessings to all. Namaste.